Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the CSGO Clutch Podcast. My name is Adam Kona. I'm your host. The CSGO Clutch Podcast, as always, is sponsored by PrizePicks. Head over to PrizePicks.com. Sign up using the promo code CLUTCH. Again, that's promo code CLUTCH. New depositors get a 100% deposit bonus up to $100. They're an amazing website, and our boys at PrizePicks just got an amazing revamp. I'm going to give you all a little preview. We're going to get into this here a little bit later on in the podcast. As always, our Prize Pick segment comes at the end of the show. Look at how cool this is. We get a complete revamp now. If you actually head over to the entries, they actually give you a live bar now. Look how cool this is. This is fantastic. You now actually get to see this as the games go on. You get to see the cool bars, whether you're on, whether you're off. These are my Prize Picks from the other day, and needless to say, they didn't exactly work out. Also, good to note, this is one of his better performances. We'll get into that in a little bit, because I think Sunpius definitely has a lot of potential. But let's get here into this main slate. No lineup recap review today. We're going to skip that. We're going to head right into it. It is the final day of Group C. Look, I'm going to cop to it. I completely forgot there was a Counter-Strike slate yesterday. My mind was actually too busy on playing Counter-Strike yesterday. I completely forgot to check to see if there was a lineup. Well, see if there was a contest out there for yesterday in some games. I thought Monday was their day off. We headed to the final day here of Group C, so apologize for the no podcast yesterday. We got one here today. All these games are at 2 p.m. Eastern. We have the final day of Group C here for ESL Pro League Season 14. And Navi did suffer a loss. They lost to Big 2-0, which is actually pretty interesting considering I think Big got bounced today. Let's actually head back and let's do the results from this past day. So we take a look here. Faze beat Big 2-0. Mouse Sports beats Fnatic 2-0. I played the Fnatic side of that game. And Navi beating EG, kind of, sort of, not surprising. What's the score? EG actually gave them a little bit of a run on Inferno. 16-12 and then 16-7 on Nuke. Man, Navi loves picking in the Nuke. They really, really do. Okay. I saw a lot of some Discords that I was in. Not many too much happy with Bit from the prior day. Did Bit bounce back in a massive way? Plus 26. The dude went ham. Electronic ended up at plus 14 and Simple at plus 6. When Bit and Electronic are playing like this, Simple don't need to go God tier. He just doesn't. Boomage actually did pretty well, 27 and 31 for the IGL, and Perfecto at 20 and 26. Look, at 50 and 24. Bit had the entire day. EG, I don't know what's wrong with this roster. Breezy seems to be back to being one of the best fraggers on this team, which he should be from the beginning. Breezy 39 and 37, Circa 28 and 31, Obo 26 and 37, and Daps 23 and 36, and also Mihu 23 and 36. I have no idea what's going on with this roster. They need to figure out this very, very quickly. I'm also going to say this now. There was, I believe, some news that the EU is something about like not recommending teams from the USA to travel to Europe or whatever's going on there. So I just want everyone to keep that in mind as some of the lands stop popping back up, as EG and the Team Liquids and any of these other North American organizations, these Brazilian teams too, the MIBRs, the Furias. If they may have to sit and stay in these boot camps or somewhere in Europe. Again, if you want to take part in these European tournaments, however they're doing it, just keep that in the back of your mind. Whether this is all an online tournament, I think EG are over there now anyway. But I'm quite frankly not too sure. So just keep that in the back of your mind. Again, this stupid COVID pandemic and the stupid Delta variant. Everyone stay safe. And wear your masks and listen to proper local authorities and guidance. And we just here at the CSGO Clutch Podcast want each and every one of you out there to stay safe and stay healthy. All right, with that being said, that's just a little bit of a side note. I saw that today. Wanted to plug that here on the podcast. And it'll be interesting to see how the rest of these CSGO tournaments are going to go. Because from EPL, I think we go into a Blast event, so we can head to here next. Yeah, after EPL Season 14, we have the Blast Premier Fall groups. And then we have IEM Fall for CIS and IEM Fall for Europe, so they're splitting this into two. After that, we are getting very close to the Major. So we have all of the IEM events. A lot of that going on. Then we had the Blast Premier Fall Showdown, and that's it. And then we head to the PGL Major in Stockholm from October 23rd to November 7th. Very fun time here in the land of Counter-Strike. I'll be very interested to see how that major does. Are there going to be fans in attendance? I'm going to be very interested to see what goes on. I'm very much looking forward to this major. I know all the teams are as well. With that being said, let's get here into this slate. Let's start off with the first game on this slate, and this game should be an absolute banger. It's Navi versus Faze. It's a rematch of the semifinals in IEM Cologne 2021. Well, let's get into it. Simple. Not surprisingly, comes in at $9,800. I'm looking at pricing for the first time that as I'm recording this podcast with all of you, and you're all looking at it, and maybe you've all looked at pricing, but this is the first time I'm looking at pricing. And we're going to get into that Oboe $9,400 price tag in a little bit, because that's a little crazy. So let's get into it here. Simple at $9,800. Electronic comes in $8,600. Bit comes in at $7,600. Fine, we'll continue to play Bit as long as he's going to be these crazy price tags. Perfecto at $6,600, Boomage at $5,400. That's a name I want to keep in mind here for this slate because I'm sure we could probably need some sort of salary. Look, we're going to get here into the Pinnacle betting odds real quick. So Navi come into this matchup as they should, as a favorite, minus 259 favorite. Faze a plus 207 underdog. Big versus Mouse Sports. Kind of a toss-up right now. Would not be surprising if these lines kind of go more to like a double favorite. Big right now only a plus 102 underdog, and Mouse Sports come in as a minus 123 favorite. We'll get into that game. And Evil Geniuses and Fnatic EG come in as a plus 149 underdog. Fnatic come in as a minus 182 favorite. When's the last time we saw Fnatic come in as a favorite? Oh, it's been a while. But it's EG, and they are just... I don't know what's up with them. Something's going to change. I know... Stannis took some time away, and they're playing with that. I don't know what's going on with that roster. I really hope they start putting it together. I want to see that EG we saw last year. That was just they weren't losing games. I think they won like a 10-plus game win streak or a 10-game win streak or whatever it was. I want to see that EG. Get that fire back. I want to see that EG. I know there's no Ethan. I know there's no Tarek. I think this team can do it. But again, incorporating 2 new members, it takes time and everything else. So we will see. But look, on the Navi side of things, before I get to the Faze side of things, simple, $9,800. You're playing this guy at 50+%. You want to go 60, you want to go 70, you want to go 8%. You just got to figure out what you want to play simple at. It's against Faze. Simple is the best player on the slate. Because he's simple, he's the best player in the world. You play simple. Now, we go back again to the electronic versus Bit discussion. I'm right back on board with Bit. I have no problem playing both of these here against Faze. We do want to keep in mind, though, that, again, this is an online tournament. This is not a LAN tournament. You know, I'm going to give Faze a little bit more credit. Faze did just see them in the semifinals of IEM Cologne 2021. We want to keep that into account here. So I'm back right on board, as I have been, not getting off. Back on board the Bit train. Bit's captain price today actually comes in at a reasonable $11,400. Love that price tag for him. Electronic at $8,600. If you can make a stack of simple electronic and Bit work, more power to you. But with that being said, I like electronic third. I like Boomage fourth. He gives you that value. You can get crazy and go a different 2 or 3 man stacks with Boomage and Perfecto fifth. It's just a matchup. I don't probably won't play Perfecto or Boomage either. I like the salary savings of Boomage. I think he's a little sneaky here. I don't mind playing Perfecto fourth either. Take your pick of one of the other two. I'm focusing on simple. I'm focusing on Bit for Navi. On the Faze side of things, look, Faze, you know, they crushed this past matchup. We take a look at Twist stats versus Big. They actually all smashed. Twist, 74 DK points. I know Brokey went absolutely nuts. Brokey had... What did he have here? 76 DK points. Olaf, I played him as a one-off and still didn't cash. Thanks, Messi. Had 73 DK points. I had Olaf at like 5%. He was like 5% owned. Let's see. Carrigan, he went ham. Carrigan with a high fragging day. Let's go, Carrigan. 71 DK points. Rain, 64 DK points. It's a Faze crush big. So, I can see Faze beating Navi. Let's actually take a look at the Group C standings because I'm actually very interested to see where we're at here for Group C. So, Navi and Faze both are 3-1. And we have EG are eliminated from the playoffs, unfortunately. This can go many different ways. So we get Navi and Faze both at three wins and 1 loss. And then we get Big, Mouse Sports, and Fnatic all tied 2-2. I don't know. Let me see if we can find a striker post. See if I can find him here on Twitter. So Striker has had some of these. I don't want to see it. That one. Here we go. I want the Twitter one. So if we take a look at Striker here, editor-in-chief at hltv.org, you see them on HLTV confirmed. Okay, he does have it. So, according to Striker, this is right from his post. You can see it here. We're going to zoom on this. Group C final scenarios. Navi, Faze are playing for first place. Navi are through anyway. Faze just need to not enter a 3-way with Mouse and Fnatic. Mouse need to beat Big to advance. Big need to beat Mouse and Faze or EG to win. And Fnatic need to beat EG and Navi to win. So you can see a lot of different scenarios here. Everyone here is going to be playing their all. When it comes down to it, Navi are in the playoffs. Faze need to do something. And Mouse beating Big, I think that happens pretty easily. And Fnatic beating EG, I think, is pretty much a safe bet. So we can zoom in here on this photo. My apologies, cut off a little bit. So let's just say Navi win, Mouse win, right? So Navi wins, Mouse wins, and Fnatic wins. It's case 3. So you have Navi through and winning in first place, Faze, Mouse, and Fnatic, all with 3 wins. Big eliminated and EG are eliminated. I'm sorry, tiebreakers. Mouse end up in second, Fnatic end up in third, Faze end up in fourth. So the tiebreakers is Faze was lost 0-2 to Fnatic. Mouse beat Fnatic 2-0, and Faze defeated Mouse 2-1. So with that being said, head-to-head map difference, Mouse will win 3-2, Fnatic 2-2, and Faze 2-3. You can see a lot of the different scenarios here. Check out Striker's Twitter account at StrikerHLTV.org if you want to see the rest of the scenarios. So a lot of implications here for this final day of Group C play. Good MME slate, because I can see any of these teams winning. Maybe with the exception of EG, but again, large field GPPs will get there. So for the Faze side of things, I'm going to start things off with Brokey. I know, Ed, you're probably saying to yourself, Adam wants to play an Opper against Simple and or Zywoo. Yes, because Brokey is seemingly taking over the #1 on this team. So he's become the 1A and Twist the 1B. It depends on what day they're feeling like. Twist and Brokey, the 2 you focus on. I have a better gut feeling on Brokey on this slate against Navi, followed up by Twist, and then I actually like Olaf 3rd, I like Karrigan 4th, and I like Rain 5th. I think Rain with just a style of play, I think he's the entry fragger. I think he's going to get his butt kicked. I don't think he's going to end up being good for DFS, so let's just go over the pricing. Twist is 8,800, Brokey 7,800, Rain 6,800, Olaf at 6,000, and Karrigan at 5,000. Karrigan's going to give you that solid value at $5,000 if you choose to play Faze over Navi. Totally fine with that. Again, those odds we saw earlier, Faze a plus 207 underdog right now as I record this at 9:10 p.m. Eastern Time. Nothing else here I want to discuss on this game. Before I head into Mouse versus Big, drop a like on this video, leave a comment down below, and hit that subscribe button and the notification bell next to it. That way there, each and every single one of you get notified every single time one of these podcasts go live. And you can follow the CSGO Clutch Podcast on Twitter at CSGO Clutch Pod. You can follow me on Twitter at AdamWX21. And you can follow our illustrious co-host, the one, the only Dan Welch, at Wandelch, WANDELCH. Alright, I'm done with the plug, and let's get into the last 2 games here on this slate. It's Mouse Sports versus Big. Rops coming in at $9,200, Frozen $8,200, B-Mass at $7,200, Dexter $6,400, and A-Core at $5,800. On the big side of things, Searson comes in at $9,000. Love Searson on the slate. I'll get to that in a second. Tabson comes in at $8,000. Gade at $6,800. Oh, look, an actual reasonable price for Gade. Keto at $6,000 and Tizian at $5,200. It's nice not to see Gade at $9,000. I still don't quite understand that. Alright, let's get into the Mouse Sports side of things. We start off again with Robson Frozen. I say this when I feel like it's almost on every single time Mousebutts is on the slate. Rops is a great player that has a high ceiling and a great floor. Frozen is someone that has a high ceiling, decent floor, can also sometimes kind of, sort of, get his butt kicked. Inferno isn't exactly his best map. So, with that being said, Frozen can't have those games where he can break a slate. He has those games where he can be okay, and he has the games where he can just not help your lineup at all. Now, again, with this being said, let's take a look at Dexter. But for me, so Rops 1, Frozen 2. Again, Frozen higher ceiling than Rops in my opinion. So it depends how you want to go with your builds. I like Dexter 3rd. I can see Frozen 1, Rops 2. I just get a really good feeling about Rops, but I got a good feeling about Frozen, high ceiling. I want to capture both. And I like Dexter 3rd at $6,400. If I'm 3-stacking a team, I can see 3-stacking Navi. I can see 3-stacking Mouse. I can see 3-stacking Big. I can see 3-stacking Fnatic. Now, BMass, he's fine to play, $7,200. I still think it's pricing is a little too tough for him. If we take a look at some of his, most recent form, and we take a look at this real quick. So let's just take a look at ESL real quick. Versus Faze, you got 45 DK points, 57, 48, 63. He's helping out his team more than he's helping out our fantasy rosters. And I think against Big, he can have a decent day. So if you want to play him at $7,200, I'm totally fine with that. Just keep in mind, I wouldn't go crazy with them, but I can see BMS having a decent day here. I should be more excited about Acore. I should. But we take a look at Acore's recent performance. 36 DK points, 33, 61, 54. Okay, he's starting to turn it around. But that was against the likes of EG and Fnatic. Fine. Acore needs to start proving it. Otherwise, like Dan and I mentioned the other day, Torzi might be getting a call up sooner rather than later. Because Mousesports needs to make that decision before the major to make sure they don't lose RMR points. Or they're going to ride with Acore into the major. They got to make a decision. With that being said, that is how I would view them. Rops 1, Frozen 2, Dexter 3, again Frozen, as I think has a very high ceiling on the slate. Rops, I think, is just a great play. So Rops 1, Frozen 2, Frozen with a high ceiling. Gut call, Dexter 3, BMS 4, and Acore 5. On the big side of things, look, I said it earlier, I love Searson, $9,000. Love Searson against Mousesports. I think Searson has a big day. Unfortunately, I think that's really about it for this team. I actually like Keto 2nd at $6,000, so if you want to play some big, I don't mind that. Searson 1, Keto 2, Tabson 3, Gate 4, Tizian 5. Final game on the slate is Fnatic versus EG. Shouldn't need to take too long on this game. Fnatic are all underpriced! I think the DK algorithm accidentally misswapped Alex's and Brolan's price tag. I saw this in a Discord earlier. Brolan's 5,400 against EG. Chalk! We are going to smack... Brolan is going to be extremely popular on this slate, $5,400. With that, he's my default #1 play for Fnatic. Mezzi 2nd, Alex 3rd, Crims 4th, and Giacchino 5th. Look, all 5 members of Fnatic are firmly in play. You just need to pick your favorites. On the EG side of things, why is Obo $9,400? I don't get it. I don't mind playing him. Large field GPP only. Mihu $8,400. It's right now about $1,000 to $2,000 too expensive for him. Breezy $7,400. Love that. Breezy 1, Obo 2, Mihu 3. Excuse me. Cirque 4. And Daps 5. Let's get into our core value and GPP segment here on the show. And we're going to get into our favorite team stacks as well. Core play for me on this slate. By default, kind of has to sort of be Brolan at $5,400. Kind of silly why he's this cheap. So, Brolan's going to be a core play for me on this slate, and so is Pit at $7,600. On the value side of things, Brolan, $5,400. GPP play, Brolan. Look, other players I really like for value is going to be Olaf, Keto, and Boomage, and Kerrigan. On the GPP side of things, I love Searson, Rops, and Frozen. I'm going to put Keto in there as well. I like Alex, Crims, and Mezzi as well. Breezy as well if you're playing on the EG side of things. You can add Mihu as well, but I don't mind Breezy as a one-off. He's looked good on EG. Favorite team stack is Fnatic. Favorite large field GPP stack is Big and Faze. But I like Fnatic in this spot. They're cheap, they're value, they can get us everything else that we want. I like Fnatic on this slate. I like Mouse Sports, I like Navi. Every single one of these rosters are in play. Let's get into our prize pick segment here. I'm going to hit the refresh button again, real quick. Hitting the refresh button. Let's go over here to see the CSGO tab. Let's see what we got for plays here. Scrolling down. Just 36.5 versus Galaxy Racer. I'll take the over. Slacks 35.5 versus 1 win. I'll take the over. Snatchy 38.5. I'll take the over as well versus LDLC. Prize Picks currently doesn't have anything up for the Pro League slate. Keep checking back on PrizePicks.com. And again, feel free to reach out to me on Twitter at AdamWX21 if you have any questions on Prize Picks once those are released. That is going to do it for this edition here of the podcast. I'll be back for day 1 of Group D for ESL Pro League Season 14. Good luck on this slate, ladies and gentlemen. Latest peoples.